Now, I'm going to take this to another level, and I'm going to assume that you really want to build wealth. I mean, you really are trying to build wealth, and you're doing it from inside of your life insurance contract. And again, you could use this for debt repayment. You could use this for a number of things, but let's really go down the rabbit hole and let me show you how powerful this thing really gets. In this particular case, we're going to be talking about an income producing asset, multifamily property, 4-unit apartment building in Columbus, Georgia. They want $210,000 for this property. Okay, so assuming that you get a loan for the difference between 210 and 20, so you're getting an 80% loan on this property. That'll be about $168,000. You finance that out over a 30-year period. That's going to run you about $11,000 a year. Okay, now you pull out 20% from your life insurance contract. Instead of pulling out $15,000, let's say you pull out $42,000 to make the down payment on this property. You're borrowing money from yourself and repaying yourself. So you pull that money out, debt service on this property is going to cost you about $12,000 a year. Well, guess what? This property is earning $19,920.01 per year. You'll be cash flowing about $8,000 a year on this property. And guess what we're going to do with the cash flow from this property? We're going to leverage that back into, we can do a couple of different things. We could stuff that money right back into our life insurance contract and accelerate and continue that compounding, or we can split it between the life insurance contract and the debt service on this property. And guess what will happen if you buy 2 or 3 of these over the course of 20 years? Guess what? You're probably in excess of $1.5, $1.6 million of assets. Most of them will probably be paid off by then because you got people in there renting them. But ladies and gentlemen, this is the power of being able to take monies that you build up inside of your life insurance contract, which will build much more quickly than a bank account, and you take that money and you make investments into businesses, into income producing assets like the one you see on the screen that's going to be earning almost $20,000 a year. And that's going to be a residual income that you can then use stuff back into your life insurance contract and or debt service the property. That will build your wealth. Another great example is if you want to make money investing into stocks or stock options. I'm going to use an example from last year, July of 2017, which was around this area right here. Netflix was trading around $190 a share. It dipped down, went up here. I teach a stock market education course. I also manage money for clients. And if you had been one of my students or one of my clients at that time, and you had $15,000 sitting inside of a guaranteed insurance contract, you could have taken $15,000 from a guaranteed contract and you could have invested it here, and you would have been able to turn $15,000 into about $35,000 in 1 year's time. And guess what? You did it all from the basis or from the starting point of a guaranteed insurance contract. See, there's a right way and a wrong way to make investments. You started from a guaranteed insurance contract, pulled money out of that contract, doubled that money. Now you can pay yourself back and still have more money left over to do some other stuff with. What I want to do right now is show you an example of how some of the world's richest people actually make their money. So what I want to do right now is I want to show you how much money this man makes every 3 months. Every 3 months. Now, this information is publicly available information because anytime you own more than a certain percentage of a publicly traded company, you have to register with the SEC. So you have to, by law, disclose how much of that company stock you have, okay, to the SEC once you own over a certain percentage. So what I've done is I pulled up his stock holding. Now, just so you know, right now the stock is trading at $48.63 a share. So let's scroll down and see how much of this stock Lawrence Joseph Ellison owns. Okay, this is his full government name. He owns 1 billion, that's B as in billion, 124,220,000 shares. Let me say that again. He owns 1,124,220,000 shares. And this is reported as of July 31st, 2017. I hope everybody's following me. So now let's figure out how much this man makes off of his dividends. And I'm going to tie this into how you can also build wealth with dividends. You go to the NASDAQ website and basically we pull up the dividends. I pulled up the dividends already. You see Oracle Corporation, okay, $48.63. Now you take this times 1.12 billion, you get something like $55 billion. Now the Forbes says he's worth 59 billion, and the difference is that they're adding up assets outside of his stock. So they're basically calculating the value of this stock portfolio times $48, and they're getting that, plus they're adding some other things. But let's look at his income. Okay, you see that the dividend that he's earning off of each share is 19 cents. So let's think about that for a second. We just said this man owns 1.1 billion shares, and he's getting a cash dividend of 19 cents for each of those shares. If you're getting 19 cents a share and you own 1.12 billion shares, that means that this gentleman is earning $212 million every 3 months. That is about $850 million a year just in dividends. After tax, it's something like $600 million. This, my friends, is how the billionaires make their money. The majority of their income is derived from dividends, capital gains, which is why they don't pay the tax that an ordinary working American does, because their income is not ordinary income. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? You can own an insurance contract that actually pays you dividends. A lot of people don't know that. You can own a life insurance policy that pays you dividends. Okay, so that is the power behind this thing here. Floyd Mayweather is a horrible representation of what a black person with money is, or could be, or should be. Floyd Mayweather is worth $600 million. You got people out there, y'all, that are making $600 million a year. And this brother is out there tripping because he got $600 million. There's people like this gentleman right here that make $600 million, $800 million a year after taxes. So once you set up your life insurance contract, there are different types of contracts you can get, but I wanted to tie that into how you, as an everyday individual, could set yourself up where you're earning dividends inside of a insurance policy that allows your money to work much more efficiently and allows your money to build much more quickly